We got the media team in here. We're the media
We're
team.
the media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
Spin the block.
Because you owe him some money, man.
Check this out, man.
What money you borrowing from Freeway Rick?
Check this out, man. I'm gonna keep it real. When I first started boxing, I was meeting a lot of people, you know, who was interested in boxing. Freeway Rick was one of the first persons I met, you know, and he was trying to get his foot wet in the boxing game. He was trying to get some boxers, sign some fighters, and whoop. So my white boy Jerry Rosenberg, like, hey, you know Freeway Rick? I heard him, I never met him. Well, yeah, he's trying to get in the boxing game. You know, he might have a couple dollars. I don't know what he got left, but, you know, he might be able to get behind you on something. I'm like, well, shit, whatever. So, you know, he called him to the gym. I took pictures with him and all that. And, you know, we hollered a little bit, told him what my plan was, what I was doing. He was like, all right, you know, he might be able to help me. He like, how much the fight? I said, the fights cost like $1,000, bro. Plus expenses. So, this one, mind you.
Now, what you mean the fight costs $1,000?
So I'm being my own promoter. So I gotta find an opponent. I gotta find somebody to come fight me. You know what I mean? If I pay in America, I might be paying $5,000. But if I go to Mexico, I might be able to find an opponent for $1,000. So, you know, he like, all right, I'll get behind you on a couple of them. Bam. I've been trying to tell Big U to come with me to Mexico forever. I'm like, bro, let's go to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I'll be out there fighting. Woo. He finally said, let's roll. Bam. I forgot I was supposed to go holler at Freeway. I'm like, you mess with Freeway? He like, yeah, I know what's up with him. I said, I'm about to pick up this bread from him. He gonna help me out a little bit. He like, he just give you the money? I'm like, I mean, you know, he gonna help me out. You know what I'm saying? I pay him back and get a big fight. He like, man, that nigga's a rat, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, but if he gives out the money,
you told him he was a rat.
But I already knew he was a rat. The big homie from 9-0 already told me before Freeway even got out. Like, hey, man, that nigga's a rat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no justified snitching. Yeah, he told some police, but that shit ain't justified. He get out right now and walk right past him. I said, okay. But I never really cared about it. It was all over the news, big case, LA shit going on, you feel me? It was a rat. I mean, the real Rick Ross, the rapper, he made a song about it. So he testified on 47 people. Made a whole song. But everybody knew about it. But I'm just checking to make sure I'm straight before I go do business with this dude in the boxing world. I asked the other big homie, I'm like, hey, what's up with Freeway, bro? You feel me? They like, hey, you know, he a rap, but is it cool? He was like, nah, man, you straight. He was like, man, the police beat us up, lie on us, put us in jail, kill us, do all type of stuff. Sometimes I should only get back on them type of, okay. Whatever, I'm just hearing that from, cause I'm still like listening to some G homies, what they be saying. That's just different point of views people are saying. You feel me?
Yeah, now my point of view was, I never tripped that he told on the police.
Right.
Always defending him. So last week on Vlad, he FaceTimed me.
Yeah.
Because when I was on Vlad, Vlad asked me, I said, well, you know, I got a different perspective now because he ain't just telling the police, he told on the connect, right? So
Right.
Vlad like, what? And I'm like, yeah, he told on the connect. We was running the room and somebody brought the paperwork, right? So, you know, we really wasn't tripping Freeway, but Freeway called me out to this and said, Wack, you supposed to be an exposer. If y'all say you're gonna get the paperwork, you gotta go get it and read it. Right?
Weren't we in a room a long time ago, like a year ago, and some dude gave us the work?
Some dude gave us the work and we danced around it.
We went around it, because I'm like, man, Freeway, my guy.
Yeah, I read it, because I'm arguing. I'm like, nah, you talking about the police? Like, nah, read this. The police. So I'm like, I sent it. Baby, can I use your phone real quick? So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to later go to the Honey Show Instagram, and I'm going to put the link up in the story so y'all can see where I'm reading this from. R&B.
It's definitely public.
R&B.
You sent me the actual link too.
Yeah. Can I use your phone real quick? You out?
CIA,
Yeah.
contra crack, cocaine controversy.
Hold on. Let me go ahead on and get this phone. Hold on.
So that was a little bit about my story, how I first met him, and I'm doing my background on him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And some people say he might be all right to pro with, but some people like, hey, bro, ain't no justified snitching. You know what I'm saying? So, so as far as the money come in, he do look out for me. You got the work?
Okay, here it is. I'm reading it. And I'm going to put this up on the Hunter Show IG in the story. Part 3, the defense case. In the defense case, Ross attorney called Los Angeles Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Emmerich, the prosecutor in the Big Splendor trial, and elicited testimony about the nature of the case, the extent of Ross' cooperation. Ross' defense, however, focused on the claim of entrapment. Dr. Melvin Book, Ross' former tennis coach, testified that Ross had complained that someone was harassing him to do a drug deal despite Ross' protest that he was no longer involved in the drug trade, and he had gone straight. James Galapia, a Los Angeles probation officer who had worked with Ross on anti-gang projects, testified that Ross was addicted to the drug business and very vulnerable after his release from jail. Ross' girlfriend, Marilyn Stubblefield, testified that Blandon and his wife had made frequent calls to Ross. Now that's his other people. Now, Ross testified on his own. Ross said that he and Blandon taught him about the drug trade. Ross testified that he tried to get out of the drug business after his run-in with corrupt officers in Los Angeles, but Blandon kept trying to pull him back in. Ross said that he always did what Blandon wanted him to do because he was Danilo, you know. He was like my guy, my number one person. I wanted to be Danilo. Ross testified that Blandon was still involved in the drug trade after he moved back to Miami, and that both Ross and his partner Ali Newell negotiated drug deals with Blandon there. Ross testified that even after he moved to Cincinnati, this is what Ohio kick in, to get out of the drug business, Blandon kept pulling him back in. After Ross moved back to Los Angeles from Cincinnati, he tried to stay away from drugs and follow his dream of working on a performance theater for youth and his neighborhood, but instead found himself arrested on Ohio charges. Ross said that when he was released from prison in Texas, he was working as a garbage hauler, trying to earn money to pursue his dream of organizing a community theater. But Blandon contacted him and asked him to call Blandon Collect in Nicaragua from a payphone. When Ross called, Blandon told him that Tony had stolen money from Blandon, that Blandon needed Ross to help to earn money back. Ross testified that he repeatedly told Blandon he did not want to be involved in drugs, but he nevertheless maintained contact with Blandon because he wanted to sell Blandon a car. Ross said that he asked about the price of drugs in the tape recording conversation because it was just a habit to ask, although he had no desire or ability to conduct a drug transaction. Ross testified that he was in the palm of Blandon's hand. I was like his puppet. He could pick me up, you know. He could tell me to do almost anything, and I would have done it for him. Ross said that Blandon had asked Ross to kill someone for him before, but Ross had refused because he had a strong feeling about killing people. Ross stated that he had not participated in the negotiation between Chris and Blandon, but had merely been present. Finally, Ross testified he had agreed to do the drug deal with Blandon because Leroy Brown was lending Ross money for his community theater, and he had promised to forgive the loan if Ross introduced him to Blandon. Ross testified that he had never intended to engage in drug dealing until Blandon started calling him. Nigga, that's telling.
Yeah, you can't. It's no way around that. You know what I mean? Like that's clear, black and white. No negotiation, no excuses, no nothing. Dude's a rat. It is what it is. See, I never actually read that. I seen the other one when he testified on the police. You feel me? And
remember, I told him, I said, bro, we was running the room, a dude came in there. We immediately thought he was talking about the police.
Right.
We
all saw that.
He like, nah. I said, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. He said, I'm gonna send it. I started reading it. And I remembered Ohio.
That's what I remembered, Ohio, yeah. Because I was like,
remembered Ohio.
Yeah.
But even after the fact, we let it, usually we go to dig it. Right? But we let it go because it was him.
Right.
So, Freeway, come on, man. Come on. You just went on Vlad. Now, Vlad got to run this. Vlad might be about that time again. Vlad has to run this. Why didn't you just, maneuver around that question with him? Like, 600. If it's a big old ugly broad that you dealt with, and out of nowhere somebody say, oh, I know about Caroline, and that's her, you not gonna challenge them to that? He like, you on it like, nigga, all of this bad bitches. Right. What about Caroline? Oh, man, that was just an old friend of mine. You ain't gonna say, what Caroline? Because
Right.
I really would.
Man, you know what's crazy? That day we talked on the phone. When I didn't answer my phone, I was training somebody, and I got done. We all got on the phone. And when we mentioned it, he never denied it. That right there was like, whoa. See, when nigga wanted to defend his name, like, when nigga brought up the Ohio paperwork, he didn't defend it. He was just like, where you get it from, remember? So right there, I'm like, oh, he not even saying he never told or made no other statements outside the police stuff. He just want to know where we got it from. He ain't saying, I ain't never told nobody, bro. That ain't me. Where y'all get that, nigga? That's a lie. He ain't say none of that. All he said was, who said that? You remember? And we was trying to figure out the dude name who gave us the work in that room that day. But I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we wasn't even thinking about it.
Right.
All y'all, you exposers is converting to you been exposed. We still here. The team, Prince, Ghost, and Lavish, me and 600, we still here.
Facts.
But we moving into a marketing and promoting company, bro. Yo, Freeway, you did this to yourself. We didn't, you did this, bro. This wasn't on us.
Yeah, I don't know why he went on there and told me I'm not answering the phone because I owe him some money. Like, bro, like, we get our phone, we answer, we can't. We nigga might be doing stuff. We get back to it, but I definitely called him right back. He was the first person. I didn't
How
call
much
you back.
money you think you owe him?
Bro, it's $800.
Oh, he talking like it was a bag.
I just told you how much the fight cost. Once Big U said don't give that nigga back nothing, he's a rat. We bust that down. I gave Big U 400, I kept 400. We went to the strip club. Big U said he trying to get some wood from the little big Latina with the big titties. He came and asked me for two more hundred. I said, damn, nigga, I just gave you 400. He's like, man, give me 2 more hundred for these. I got 2 of them. So I gave Big U 2 more hundred in the strip club.
This what he got.
In Mexico. In the strip club, they got the room.
He came back and we had to send him to the private clinic where he got hurt.
That was about 7 years ago now.
He said he caught it in Mexico. I'm like, nigga, you ain't been in no Mexico.
I sent you the picture. We all went. Listen, we stopped at Freeway house that morning. We shot out there, went to the weigh-in. Big, you hopped on the scale to the weigh-in. You feel me? Because you know you got the weigh-in is the day before the fight. So that Friday night, the fight is Saturday night. So that Friday night when we all went out, did we do?
But we just came to address this. Freeway. We always but you forced this, like you let old Vlad get you in a pickle. Now I sent the work to Vlad. Vlad ain't responded. That ain't like my brother Vlad. He usually responds with something. So I'm gonna have to give old Vlad a call, or
well, Freeway his man too though. Freeway his guy though.
Either today is family day. You know what I'm saying? But
Freeway is Vlad guy. They buddies. That's his partner.
But Freeway said, if I find the work, Vlad gotta run it.
Oh, we gotta run it.
If I find the work, Vlad gotta run it.
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Clubhouse TV, where the real always gets exposed and the streets always talk. Now, y'all heard the content. Wack 100 dropped a bombshell. Alleging Freeway Rick Ross wasn't as silent as people thought. He didn't just tell on the police. He allegedly snitched on his Ohio connect, Colorado, when the feds came knocking. Yeah, let's talk about it now. Freeway Rick Ross was on a recent episode of Vlad called Wack 100 on FaceTime, talking about he ain't like the comments that was mentioned. Wack went in, and Freeway said if you get the paperwork, then Vlad gotta run it. So y'all heard the content. Wack went live and ran the paperwork, read it out loud, and Freeway Rick Ross, now you know that's a legendary name in the streets, but we talking millions a week, moving weight coast to coast. But as you heard, Wack calling cap on that silent game. According to Wack, when the feds got Rick caught up, he gave up his Ohio plug, someone who allegedly kept him supplied during his peak. Now, Wack ain't just talking, he's reading the paperwork online. He says, y'all praise these old street legends, but ain't nobody reading the fine print. Rick Ross ain't keeping solid and gave up a dude who kept him rich. Now, let's keep it real. The streets got rules. And what Wack is saying is true, it would flip Rick Ross's whole legacy upside down. Let's not forget, Rick's always claimed he was a political pawn, a product of a government-run setup. Still, Wack ain't letting that slide. This just ain't petty clout chasing. Wack has been on a mission. He called out other legends, and now he's targeting Rick, saying the streets need to reevaluate who they glorify. So the question is Wack telling the truth? Is Freeway Rick Ross really snitching on his Ohio Connect, or is this just another Wack 100 headline for attention? I think y'all know what it is. Wack, when it comes to paperwork, it's gonna be 100. So let me know what you think about the content in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content. Subscribe to the media team so you get that exclusive Wack 100 content. Any questions, suggestions, need me to advertise for you on my channel with over 43,000 subscribers, just get at me on IG and I'll get right back to you. As always, I certainly appreciate y'all for checking out Clubhouse TV, and y'all already know I'm off to the next one, y'all. I'm out. Peace.